Technology continues to progress at a lightning speed, and 2015 saw some of the biggest companies in the world come out with new products. Here in Israel, it was a particularly good year for tech companies, with billions of dollars being poured into the Middle East's little Silicon Valley. And with me right now is Yaron Tambrick, our editor-in-chief of our morning edition. Good evening.
Good evening, Lucy.
Thank you very much for coming. So you're going to sum up the year in tech for us. And
yeah, top stories. Let's start with Israeli tech. You know, we can sum it up in one word. Amazing.
Amazing.
Israeli tech had an amazing year. 2015 saw startups exiting to the tune of $7.2 billion. $7.72 billion? Yeah, that's a lot of money for 60 startups. Another 8 companies went public on, the biggest stock exchange networks in the world.
Wow.
And they brought in $3.5 billion. The biggest one was, the biggest exit actually was by a medical tech company. Nobody actually talked about it much in Israel because medical tech is very complicated and confusing. But it's a company called Valtech Cardio. They do really amazing stuff for heart surgery. They were bought for almost $1 billion, which is
you're saying all these numbers, and I wonder maybe we chose the wrong profession.
We definitely did. I mean, there's a lot of criticism going on about is exit culture in Israeli startups. They all want to sell. But, Israel is a small country, and we're understanding more and more with every year that this is what we can do. We can develop the technology, we can bring it to the markets, and then we can just sell it to the big tech corporations around the world. And get rich,
especially
in the
with
process.
the law economy that we are experiencing here in the last few years, unfortunately. Okay, so startup, people are just earning more money, and then something else? Another good story?
The biggest story is that didn't happen this year. It was virtual reality. We all thought when we wrapped up last year that 2015 would be the big year for virtual reality, with Facebook, Sony, Microsoft, and Google planning to bring out their own headsets, those things that get you into the virtual reality. But it all got postponed. The technology is not there yet. Now we're talking about 2016, but still, there's the geek factor of virtual reality, and I'm not sure that all these big tech corporations will overcome it this year.
Well, at least we can say that going back to the Future, almost all the things that they predicted,
a lot of the things they predicted did happen. Virtual reality was actually the hoverboard. Lexus brought this year a prototype of a working hoverboard.
So this is
we're getting there.
We're getting there. So it's okay. Virtual reality now, but snowboard,
hoverboards, drones. Big year for drones. Everybody loves drones now.
Yep.
But we'll have to wait for virtual reality a bit more.
Okay, if we're talking about virtual reality, we cannot not talk about the Apple Watch that everybody asked themselves, should they, shouldn't they?
And the answer seems to be not yet, at least, because it's another product that everybody was talking about, smartwatches. 2015 will be the year of the smartwatch. Then the smartwatches actually came out to the consumers, and we kind of went like, why do we need this? And, actually the biggest problem, and it's very surprising coming from Apple, is that, Apple products are so cool. They look pretty. They are super well designed, and the Apple Watch is just
a watch.
It's a watch. It's clunky. It's big. It gets hot. You have to charge the battery every few hours.
It gets hot?
It gets kind of warm.
Really?
If you use it all the time, and
it's a good thing that I'd buy
you'd want to use it. We have to wait on this one and see if they can, develop.
And really, how much you can actually see in a watch from messages.
It's basically an accessory for your iPhone, and for that it's too expensive. It's not really a standalone gadget, and and also doing that all the time and that all the time, and it doesn't, for me, it doesn't work.
And it's not, it's enough that we're sitting in a subway or on a bus or whatever in a dinner and occupied with our mobile phones and with our smartphones. It's like just look each and every time at the watch.
It doesn't work. It's not fashionable
enough. You're in a hurry
enough.
all the time.
Exactly.
Okay, Microsoft.
Microsoft is a big success story this year. We thought, Microsoft were doing so badly the last decade. It was kind of, they were still a huge company, but it was kind of a common idea that they're on their way out. They used to dominate, and then everything they did flopped. Now, this year was something different because they came out with Windows 10. Everybody loved it. They came out with new Surface tablets that are, people say, as good as the iPads. They came out with their own copy of the MacBook.
Yeah, MacBook.
And they did some amazing stuff.
Actually, it's all over every series that I see in the United States, the new Microsoft computer.
Yeah, they're doing
amazing.
They're really pushing the marketing on this one. And next year, they're planning to bring out the HoloLens. Everybody's buzzing about that. It's like augmented reality, not virtual reality. So everybody's very excited about that.
Something good about this year, or everything?
Microsoft is good, but the big story of the tech year is not so good because it's all about terror. And the war,
the use of
technology, to put out terror attacks. The discussion really became big after the last attack in Paris, the hideous terror attack in Paris, when the blaming game was which technology is to blame. First, Sony PlayStation was to blame. Then Telegram, a very popular messaging, encrypted messaging application, they got the blame. Eventually, it turned out that they just used very simple mobile phones. And, you can't really say anything bad about that. But nonetheless, both presidential candidates in the United States, both the leading ones, Trump and Clinton, came out against tech, saying the tech world should take steps to prevent terror. So that's going to be a problem.
Because it's not the world powers that should take...
No, it's tech,
Of course, everything we get, it's on tech. You're on Time Brink. Have a great year.
You too.
I'll see you next year.
Definitely.
And I hope that next year we will blame tech on good things and not on bad things. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Yes, and we end tonight with culture, which is meant to enhance societies and life in general. But unfortunately, in 2015, the arts too often became fused with violence. Shani Nachshoni looks back.
An end-of-year culture summary is supposed to be happy. But unfortunately, this year, cultural events were mixed with world terror. It started in January with the attack on Charlie Hebdo. What was once a local French satirical magazine became famous worldwide, and not for a good reason. The terrorists' agenda is to silence liberal, satirical, critical voices, and in this case, it made these voices even louder. Later this year, Paris was once again a target for terrorism, with the biggest attack happening at a rock concert. For many, this attack was against a symbol of Western society. The second issue that blurred the lines between the news and the culture sections was the mass immigration from the Middle East and Africa to Europe. It was one of the subjects in the center of Banksy's Disneyland exhibition, and the argument around opening the borders appeared in many pop culture outlets. It was also the year that the fatherly image of comedian Bill Cosby was shattered as dozens of women accused him of sexual assaults, and in a symbolic way, it ended with one charge that was filed against him on Wednesday.
Mr. Cosby is charged with aggravated indecent assault. This is a felony of the first degree.
It was the year of gender breakthrough, as Bruce Jenner was reborn as Caitlyn Jenner, and what was once a not talked about subject became a headline. The marginal became mainstream, and for that we have reality TV to thank.
It's been eye-opening, inspiring, but also frightening. All across this country right now, all across the world, at this very moment, There are young people coming to terms with being transgender.
The battle for equal pay went to the next level when it was revealed that Jennifer Lawrence received a lower salary than her male counterparts in American Dream.
The world doesn't owe you a thing.
The protest that started as a result with the support of male actors like Bradley Cooper changed the reality for some women in Hollywood. 2015 was the year Viola Davis became the first black woman to win an Emmy Award for Best Actress in Drama Series.
The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity.
It was also the year that Amy Schumer showed the world that there are funny women and that there is such a thing as feminist humor. It was a good year for the young generation of comedy, as 3 late-night hosts changed positions and made room for the newer versions. 2 highly anticipated releases were out by the end of 2015. The new Star Wars movie ranked as high as 8.6 on IMDb, and the new Adele album, with the mega hit Hello, with over 8 million views on YouTube, runs for as many parodies. Goodbye 2015, we will see you from the other side.
And I want to take advantage of these last 40 seconds before we're finishing to say thank you to the team of the news today. Shai, Charles, Lara, Uri, Ellie, Shai, Ayman, Shani, and the control team who is suffering for me each and every night. Thank you very much for making this show what it is. I wish you all Happy New Year, and I wish you, our viewers, Happy New Year. May 2016 will be the best year of our lives and maybe the best year for more years to come. Happy New Year.